What's up, coaster spotters? We're doing something special. Definitely no coasters, but in a world right now where no parks are really open, we're doing some stuff that's on our bucket list that we normally wouldn't have time to do. Today we're checking out the abandoned remains of Warner Brothers, yes, that Warner Brothers, jungle habitat. Now this is located in West Milford, New Jersey, about an hour northwest of New York City, and it was a drive-through zoo hybrid. It opened in 1972, closed in 1976. Stated reasons were because they wanted to add some rides, probably because they saw what some park down south in Jackson, New Jersey was doing, and the town said no because they were worried about traffic issues, and that was basically it. They pulled out. And there's lots of remains. I think currently, my goodness, that is steep. We found a hill in New Jersey. But we believe right now we are entering into the drive-through portion of it. Should be a fun little excursion, something different on the channel. Thank you so much if you clicked into this. I know it's very different if you're coming here for coasters. If you're not, take a look at the other stuff. All right, so we have walked up the hill and we're approaching the giant parking lot. Now, I would love to fly the drone, but literally right on the other side of those trees is the airport. So even if I wanted to break rules, there's no way that the software would even allow me to take off. I think that's probably where you head down to do the drive-through portion.
You want to head on that way?
I don't know. We'll just try it all. There are two more lots over there that are basically the size of this. Lots of biking, and I don't think we'll see so many hikers. We'll see a lot of bikers, though. Alright, so I believe we have found what was the main entrance. It looks like it had some kind of like portal to make you feel like you're entering the experience. I mean, even when it wasn't run down, this kind of looks kind of trashy though. Just to put a culvert to enter in. Oh, and it's so overgrown. Alright, well, it's a bunch of trails. So when we come to abandoned structures, we'll let you know. And I'll try to do some research later on to figure out what was everything. But before I even turn off the camera, here we go. This almost looks like it was like a ticket booth of some sort. Yeah, that was definitely a ticket booth of some sort. So we're seeing lots of old fences that have been abandoned or falling over, but not much more. Now these would have probably been pretty clear. You can see that these trees are not that old in comparison to some of the other trees in this area. So all these thin ones that are only a couple inches in diameter are probably grown in since this place closed. And for all we know, there could have been a building right here at this junction. Looks like this was the entrance to some kind of habitat where you would walk around the perimeter looking at the animals. Alright guys, we just actually saw something we weren't supposed to see. There's an actual black bear. He's pretty far away, but we're not getting any closer. That's where the bear is, in that exhibit over there. There's one break in the fence. He's just chilling out in a bowl. He's having a grand old time. We're not going to hang around this jungle area too much longer because, rightfully so, Ariel is freaked out, and so am I. I don't think we're going to see any more of him. He was just bathing and having a fantastic time. He looked like a big kid in the water playing around. But here we can see one of the old abandoned rides. Looks like a car ride of some sort. Looks very cool. Ariel, is this what you saw earlier? Okay. She was here like 3, 4, 5 years ago. And she's the one who led me to the bear, apparently. This is what your big idea is, right? You just wanted to bring me and try to get me eaten by a bear. We're fine. We're so far away from him now.
Very good hearing.
Oh my god, very good. Oh my god. Well, we're walking the ride. This is cool. Looks like this might have been maybe like a fake animal that popped up on you. I don't know if this would have been real. With that metal bracket in the middle, it looks like that would have been something that would have like rose out of it as you pass by it. You can see a little bit of the conduit that would have ran the rail next to some centipede? Millipede? I don't know. This goes on for way longer than I expected. I don't know if we've been that way. I don't think we've been this way. Yeah, I think here is where the loading station was. Yeah, this was definitely the loading station right here. This is probably where they transferred it on and off, and scrappers probably took it. Alright, so you can see how stuff is starting to reclaim. I mean, this is like a foot of concrete, so this is going to be here for quite some time. But you can see this creek area, which there was probably a small culvert at one point. The one over there does, but you can see how it's starting to wash away underneath it, and this whole section here is probably going to fall into the creek eventually. Alright, so that was really cool seeing that old abandoned car ride. To see such like remains that are so intact at this abandoned place that I didn't even know about a week ago. It's really cool. Ariel, you hit it out of the park with this one. This is fantastic. Just yeah, maybe bring bear spray with you. I don't know what to say about that. It was funny though, because he was just like, he literally looked like a kid in a kiddie pool. The way he was like sitting in the pool and everything, he was having the greatest time ever. Okay, it looks like there was another attraction this way.
Is the way the bear was?
No. Yeah, I'm okay with the bear at this point, but Ariel is still a little bit freaked out. As you can see, there's so much left of this place. With all the concrete and walls and fences and all that stuff, there's still a good amount to see if you like to explore abandoned places. Which I don't really, but when it's an old amusement park, heck yeah. And it's illegal to be here. It's a state park now. You're not doing anything wrong. But I don't think we signed up for a black bear. Here's the creek that ran through the middle of the car ride. Here we can see another entrance to another habitat. So one thing I neglected to mention is, just like Six Flags Great Adventure, they had dance party type things with Bugs Bunny and the Bat Pals, and there was a stage, and I'm not sure, but maybe this was it. Here we're at the top of that structure. Yeah, that was it. This is it. You can see up in the hills where everyone sat. Look how it's graded. This isn't natural looking. It's all flat, smooth. Yeah, this is it. So this is where the theater was. That they had Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and all the other Looney Tunes characters play at. At the same time, well, not at the same time, because Great Adventure didn't get rights to Looney Tunes until a much later time. It wasn't until the 80s that the Looney Tunes characters appeared at Six Flags parks. What do you think about this? Isn't this so crazy that this was a little kids and their parents? Mm-hmm. Little kids now that are like 50 years old, yeah, sat here and watched Bugs Bunny. Once again, more habitats, very small ones, so there's probably some small critters. I'm actually surprised at the condition of these fences. They're much better than I would have expected. Since it's been abandoned for 44 years. Looks like we're coming up on a bird aviary of some sort. I'm not sure how you would have actually gone down to it. I think this might have just washed out over the years, because you can see how it drops down significantly. It looked like it was like a chicken wire type structure at the bottom. And then very thinly sprayed concrete on it. So it's no wonder this would have collapsed over the years. And I bet a tree fell on it at one point or something. So if you imagine these huts here, how they're these big circular buildings, and you can see them all here. Here are all the footers for them. They're elevated, they're round, there are a bunch of round ones that are just right together, and then there's the central foundation for them all. Looks like some of the footers have collapsed over the years. There's a bunch of scrap metal everywhere. This was obviously not built very well. Looks like a gas pipe right there. Or a sprinkler system. This is cool. This is probably where you bought all your food, if I were to guess, or souvenirs. Looks like you can see where the signpost was, which is something somebody probably took soon after it closed as a souvenir. Just a basic circular boring structure. But look, signposts, maybe that was rules for a petting zoo or informational signs? Who knows? Well, somebody knows because they visited here, but it's so crazy to think that a toddler that visited here is now almost at their 50s. You're going to see another structure. And Ariel was here
3 years ago.
Yeah, so I will insert that picture in of what the entrance actually used to look like, because that was intact just a few years ago. Unfortunately, that has now been taken down or collapsed, one of the two. I'm actually generally surprised how good of a condition that roof is for being abandoned for 45 years. 44 years. Alright, looks like we've seen pretty much all of it. We're going to check one more pathway, but so that's about it from in here. We're going to check out the drive-through portion at this point. I'm not thinking there's a lot of that left over, because I feel like it would have just been big enclosures. Yeah, but we haven't seen an enclosure I feel like would have been for like a tiger or a lion or something like that. No. And it looks like the map had it. They certainly expected thousands to come every day. My goodness. Ariel, can you imagine if this whole parking lot was filled, now knowing how big that walk area was?
Yeah.
How uncomfortably busy it would be? Oh my God. This is bigger than a lot of small amusement parks, if you don't get the scale of this. This is huge. This has got to be... What?
The parking lot's bigger than the park.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, at least the walk around area. It seems like the drive-through is all around the perimeter. But like, this is at least a quarter or a fifth the size of Great Adventures parking lot. It's huge. All right, we found where the drive-through starts. So those culverts that you would pass underneath, that was actually passing underneath the drive-through section of the experience. And we are currently right above those culverts. It's hard to see, but trust me, you are. You can see the guardrail right there, so it gives you a good idea of how wide this road actually was originally. And the shoulders have grown in quite a bit. So we're going to head back the way we came, because the way we were going is leading us to areas that we pretty much have already seen. If you use All Trails, which is on iOS and Android, I typically use it for hiking, but it has a really good map of where the exhibits were actually. And then it has additional hikes, which I think were just created for the state park and whatnot. And we'd like to come back, well, at least I would like to come back and do those trails someday. Possibly with some bear spray. So it's really hard to say if these lines were painted at something for some kind of an event or whatnot, but it would seem that this is the exit. But there's also a yellow line, so that's very confusing. But after 44 years, who knows what's happened during that time. But I'm thinking this is the exit. There's two different gates right here. I'm not sure what was what. Ariel's thinking maybe one way was in, one way was out. I don't know. We're gonna follow this for a while and see what happens. This definitely feels wider than the trails that we were doing earlier, though.
And more paved.
Yeah, it's held up better because it had to hold the weight of a car. Oh, here's a gate opener thing. Look at this. So we're definitely getting into the area where there were more, not fenced-in animals. They were just, they could come up to your car like Great Adventure Safari. If you haven't seen it, check out the Great Adventure Safari video that we just recently did. They've recently changed the Safari to drive-through due to the closures right now, so you can go experience it old school. We had a great time. Here we can see a guardrail, so we're definitely on the right road. This is fantastic. All right, we've come up to another gate to separate different habitats, it looks like. Yes, most definitely. That is what we've come to. Very cool. It's just a bunch of roads. There's not much to see. The walk-through area was probably the most interesting place. I wanted to check out this area because we're going to come up to a tiger pen, and that should be a pretty cool structure. The area is really opened up here. I don't know why. Maybe they had areas where you could pull over or something like that. I think that's what the tiger pen is referring to. Alright, this is very cool. If you can see here, these fences over there are very similar to what Great Adventure uses, with the smooth paneling at about 6 feet to prevent animals climbing over it. So we're heading back the way we came, and we're pretty much wrapping it up. That road I showed you that goes over the entrance to the walking area, I don't know what that led to, because I'm pretty sure the safari where we saw those two gates was the entrance and the exit. The way this is going, it's not going anywhere towards the walking area. So I don't know, it's very confusing, and we don't have the time to walk it all today. I'm very interested in this place. I'd love to come back and explore more. Hopefully get near that habitat that was currently occupied by a bear. That's going to be about it, unless we find something else on the way out, which I doubt we will. But thank you so much for watching the coaster spot without any coasters. This has been Alex. Like, comment, and subscribe, and comment below. Did you come here? Do you have any memories here? Have you explored here? Do you have anything more to add? Definitely let me know. As I said, I'd love to do a follow-up video. But see you in the next one. Bye.